Welcome to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.
In this podcast, we'll look at the European Union's efforts to combat child sexual abuse online, a crime that is becoming more frequent both in Europe and globally, especially since the COVID-19 lockdowns. Stay with us.
Photos and videos of children being sexually abused are shared online on a scale unseen before, and the pandemic turned an already bad situation into a catastrophic one.
In 2021 alone, 85 million such pictures and videos were reported by internet companies worldwide. At the same time, more and more children, and increasingly younger children, are being tricked into producing sexual material of themselves, like sending a naked video or image and sharing it online, a form of abuse known as grooming, which intensified in 2021.
In the same year, the UK-based Internet Watch Foundation reported a 64% increase in notifications of confirmed child sexual abuse online compared to the previous year. We spoke to their head of policy and public affairs, Michael Tunks.
So in 2021, the IWF removed 252,000 web pages containing child sexual abuse imagery. 62% of that imagery was hosted in the European Union. So it's clearly a huge problem that needs to be addressed. The other challenge that we're seeing is of self-generated indecent images of children. These are images where children have been groomed or coerced into producing images of themselves and sharing them over webcam. And we've seen 20,000 instances alone of self-generated indecent images amongst the 7 to 10-year-old age range in the first quarter of this year.
In the same year, the US National Center for Missing and Exploited Children received over 29 million reports of suspected child sexual exploitation, a 35% increase from 2020.
Most of these images are shared on the dark web, but also through social networking platforms and end-to-end encrypted communication apps such as WhatsApp. So, what is the EU doing to combat this escalating problem? Stay with us.
Well, seeing that the current system based on voluntary detection and reporting by companies has clearly failed to protect children, the European Commission came up with tougher rules in May 2022. Let's hear the European Commissioner for Home Affairs, Ylva Johansson.
We are failing to protect children today. But with this proposal, it's tough, it's unprecedented, and it's a groundbreaking proposal that makes Europe in the global lead of the fight against child sexual abuse online. We propose to make it mandatory for all providers of services and hosting to make a risk assessment.
If the proposed new rules go ahead, providers will have to assess the risk of misuse of their services to disseminate and host child sexual abuse material online or for grooming a child, and propose measures to mitigate that risk.
To improve coordination and implementation, the European Commission wants to set up a new independent EU Centre on Child Sexual Abuse. This centre would act as a hub of expertise and support to governments, online providers and victims. And it will become the central body for reporting detected instances of online child sexual abuse.
National coordinating authorities designated by EU countries will need to review the risk assessments and issue detection orders when significant risks remain.
Detection orders will be limited in time, subject to strict procedural safeguards, and target a specific type of offence on a specific service. Companies having received one will be asked to deploy automated content recognition technologies to detect child sexual abuse online or grooming. The choice of technology will be up to them, provided they meet the necessary safeguards.
Furthermore, detection technologies should only be used to detect child sexual abuse and not to intrude users' privacy. Where abuse is confirmed, national authorities would then request internet providers to remove the material or to block it if it can't be taken down at source.
And because mistakes are possible, both providers and users will have the right to challenge any measure affecting them in court and get compensation for any damage that may result.
In short, the new rules aim to help rescue children from further abuse, prevent material from reappearing online, and bring offenders to justice. However, the European Commission's proposal has been met with scepticism on whether the chosen approach is the most effective to fight the dissemination of child sexual abuse material online.
Service providers, as well as the data protection authorities, fear a disproportionate invasion of privacy and consider the Commission's proposal lacks clarity on key elements.
But child advocates like UNICEF, Missing Children Europe, or the Canadian Centre for Child Protection believe that better regulation is long overdue, and recall that the proposed legislation is not about allowing mass surveillance, but better protecting children.
In the European Parliament, the proposal has also stirred up debate around the controversial points of privacy, disproportionality, and whether the new rules would benefit children or overwhelm law enforcement. Javier Zarcelejos leads the discussions within the Committee on Civil Liberties, Justice and Home Affairs, and he sees a very clear role for the new EU Centre on Child Sexual Abuse.
It will be a pivotal institution as a decentralized agency in the coordination among authorities, in the relation with the companies and the industry, and also in encouraging innovation and the protection of victims. That is what we really want to have to be reflected in this EU Centre.
In the end, it's all about finding the right balance between the need to protect children's privacy and others' privacy.
Want to know more? Check out Mar Negreiro's full policy brief on the EPRS website or in our app.
This is a European Parliamentary Research Service podcast.
Thanks for listening.